unveiling the history from the city's archives. A longtime civil servant now being honored for decades of work.
That's right, Annika. What a great place to start the week here at the Surrogates Court building on Chambers Street. Look at this place. It is unbelievable. But we're not talking about the building today. We're talking about what's inside and someone who has worked here for many, many years. It's all coming up when the news continues on NY1 from right here in Lower Manhattan.
The Sloan Public Service Awards are considered the Nobel Prizes for the city's civil servants. Among the 7 recipients is an assistant commissioner at the city's Department of Records and Information Services who has spent more than 4 decades helping New Yorkers connect with the city's past. Roger Clark took a dive into the city archives, and he joins us now from Lower Manhattan with more. Roger, this is so up your alley.
Yeah, a big history buff, obviously. And Annika, let's start with where I'm standing. This is the Surrogates Court building, 31 Chambers Street. Check this place out. I'm standing on a staircase. This is actually, they think that this is kind of based on a Parisian opera house. This is marble from Tuscany. They really don't build them like this anymore, that's for sure. But we're not talking about the building this morning. We are talking about what's inside. Records dating back to the 1600s.
Inside this safe are pieces of the city's history. In this case, records from Dutch colonial settlers from 1647. It's all part of the city's municipal archives at the Department of Records and Information Services, or DORIS. Assistant Commissioner Ken Cobb has worked here for 44 years.
Gathering these records so that they can be made accessible, preserving them so they're available forever, and then helping people find out what we have and use the stuff.
The municipal archives are located inside the landmark Surrogates Court building on Chambers Street, built in 1910 as the Hall of Records, plus a new facility at Industry City in Brooklyn. Cobb started at Doris as an intern after touring the archives with his professor from Columbia.
He said we could volunteer here instead of doing a paper. I thought, sure, why not? And so that was October 1977, and one thing led to another. And here we are.
Inside climate-controlled storage rooms where there are historic atlases, birth, death, and marriage certificates, and items from mayors and city agencies. Here are records from the town of Flatbush from 1819, before Brooklyn was part of the city, with familiar names like Wyckoff and Ditmars. Staff also works to conserve items like these original plans for the Brooklyn Bridge. Many of the records have been digitized and made available online, giving researchers and the public better access.
There she is. Oh, my God. Oh, that's great.
It wasn't long before Cobb was able to track down my grandma's birth certificate and a property card with a photo of the house in Mariners Harbor on Staten Island my dad grew up in. Cobb says it's one of his favorite parts of the job, unveiling history within the collection.
It's very satisfying to be able to help someone such as yourself find something that explains about their family and about the history of New York City, the city that we all, that's our home.
Cobb says it's all about making sure all of this material is preserved now and available forever.
Yeah, and Annika, I literally was here a half hour, and Ken was able to find those items for me. I mean, it was that quick that he was able to do this, so it was pretty cool. And of course, he gave me a copy. I sent it to my dad. I sent it to my aunt. Everybody was so excited to see, the deed from that property, which my great-grandfather came from Italy and built those houses, and there it was. So, I mean, this is just a little tiny thing that can be done here of all the records that they have in this building. And of course, Ken Cobb has been here for so many years taking care of all of them.
That is so exciting, Roger. I'm jealous, but how satisfying to find that. All right, Roger, we will be back with you. Thank you so much.